Alright, what's up everybody? It's Mr. G. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to show you a basic use of watercolors. Something to kind of help you kind of transition from one color to the next, but also control watercolors. Very simple and easy technique. It is very similar to the techniques that I teach you when you draw. Kind of understanding how to blend or fade from light to dark or one color to the next. So I have my brush here. And I have this little brush set that has the water at the water in the back of them, which is pretty cool. But since most people don't, I also have my water right here. So I'm going to use my water and the brush. So first thing I'm going to do, take the brush, dip the brush in water. And then after I dip the brush in water, the next thing I'm going to do is activate whatever color I need to activate. I'm going to use orange. And so I have the orange watercolors. You activate it. And so when you first activate them and it's only a little bit of water, they'll come out pretty dark. So I have that down. And just from here, just to see how dark it is. All right. And I'm almost happy with that. But I'm going to make it a little bit darker. All right. And then if you do like I just done, accidentally use too much water, all you have to do, take a paper towel, put it in there, bring it up, put it in there, bring it up. You don't want to like scratch and rub it real hard and rough, because what you'll end up doing is messing up your watercolors. So good thing to do, just pull that up. So now I have a nicer consistency, and so now I can make this a little bit darker when I want to, if it wants to work right for me. All right, so I have this somewhat dark area of watercolors down there. And I'm going to start there. Actually, I'm going to go for a little bit darker. I'm determined. Yeah, so we have this section. And so what I want to do now is take that dark area and go from dark to light. So this is what I'm doing with my brush. I take the brush, I dip the end of it in water. And then after I dip it in water, because you really don't always see it, I take the edge of the brush and I slide it across the edge of the cup. And so you can see these two little beads of water right here. I want to get those off because I don't want to have too much water saturating the work, so in the paper. So now I have that, but the brush is still wet. And so all I'm doing now, just like if I was using a pencil on the side, now I'm just gradually going and making lighter marks. All right, so you want to fade from dark to light. Now this process is kind of tricky because it can work really well at one point, and the brushes and the water, everything works good, but sometimes watercolors like to do their own thing. So this technique that's working at one point may decide to say, hey, you know, I don't feel like working right now. So play with this technique and this trick. Don't be afraid to experiment with this, and you know, try your best. But it's about understanding and getting to a place where it's comfortable for you to use the watercolors, and you got this good transition in this fade. So that's going from orange to kind of white, transitioning from dark to light, in the same way we use our value scale when we draw. So here's the next thing I want to do. I want to kind of fade from one color to the next. So I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see I get really expressive and creative when I do stuff. So this was like a group of grapes that I was drawing. That I was doing. So you have the areas. This one is mostly green, but then this here one kind of has the greens and the purples and a little bit of blue. Same thing here. So transitioning from that green to that blue, right? So we're going to work on that real quick. So same thing. I'm going to start with wet the brush, activate my green just a little bit. All right. And so I have my green. I want to make that area really, really dark. All right. So I have that green, and I'm doing it basically from dark to light with my green. So I'm making this light. All right. And so my next color is blue. I'm going to get a little drop of water, and I'm going to activate the blue. All right, I got a little drop of water, and I'm going to activate this blue, and then on this back end, on this opposite side, make sure you can see this. There we go. So on the opposite side, I'm going to start from dark, and I'm going to go from dark to light. So this is my dark blue, and I'm gradually making it lighter. So something else you can do in addition to adding more water to the brush, you can also just use a lighter touch when you lighter strokes when you're painting. So using that lighter stroke also helps that, and you want to fade for that thing to the next. So I got fade from blue kind of to almost white, green to almost white. Blue is the dominant color. Blue will change green much easier and quicker than green will change blue. So I got I put some water on the brush, then I get my brush and I only get a little bit of watercolors from the blue. And just to test how strong it is, I'm going to go back to this side so I can see it's still a good amount of blue on that. So I don't mind actually kind of going back over this again. But right here where I know this is about to fade, I'll transition from the blue to the green. Grabbing just a little bit more of that blue and bringing it in here. Just grabbing a little bit more of that blue and bringing it in there. So I'm fading from blue close to white, from blue to white, green to white on this side, but then right here in this middle space, in this happy little area, the green and the blue decide to kind of come together or merge together, and you have a transition from green to blue or from blue to green.